today I'll be showing you how I was able to do my Nigerian passport, how I was able to renew my Nigerian passport from the comfort of my home, and I'm going to tell you the step by step of everything I did in order to get this brought to my home. That's to say, I didn't go to the Nigerian embassy in London. I did everything from home. So pay attention and listen so you get all the gist. So the first thing I did was I had to download the NIS app. I had to download the app. So that's it. That's the icon on the Play Store. So after downloading the NIS app, I had to create a profile. So after creating the profile, you now go to the passport application part. So when you get there, you're in abroad now, so you're going to fill in that you're in abroad. So you make sure you fill up all the documentations in there. I'm looking down because I jotted everything I did step by step, so I don't miss it out. Then after filling up everything, you now note that also your NIN number is required for you to fill this form. So if you're struggling with your NIN, or if you have any issue with your NIN, you can message me privately and I can help you sort it. However, if you've got an NIN that is correct, that you want to use to create your passport, you can continue with what I'm talking about. But just know that whatever name you have on your NIN is what's going to show on your international passport. So be very, very careful about that. Then after you must have filled all the documentation and uploading all documents, it now takes you to the part where you do your biometrics. Okay, so where you do your biometrics. So you know what biometric means is finger capturing. So when you're done with your biometrics and it captures and says it's gone through, or congratulate you that the biometric has gone through, then it will now take you to the payments part. Okay, so make sure that when you're filling your documentations and uploading everything, that you feel that you want to do the self checkout, you want to do it yourself, self-assessment, please make sure you do that. If not, you have to go to London or you have to cancel the application and start afresh. So now when you get to the payment part, you're expected to pay $330 and a $12 fee. So I know I said dollars and you're in the UK, but that's what I paid. So I think the payment pathway is using dollars. So it's actually $330 plus $12 fee charge, and this $330 plus the fee is for 10 years. So if you want to go for 5 years passport, it's going to be less. So I went for 10 years because I'm not ready. If I want to renew my passport in 5 years, I'll start chasing around. So I'd rather do that of 10 years than if I want to renew it, it will be in the next 10 years. That's 2036. Then after the payment, you get a confirmation from your mail. But please note, for the payment part, it is advisable you use a different phone. So let's say use a different phone to apply, then use your main phone to make the payment, because it gets to a way when you want to minimize to make the payment, it refreshes. So it keep refreshing and the payment won't go through. But if you're using 2 different phones, or if you're using a laptop, however way you're doing it, just make sure you're using 2 devices. So one will go for the payment and one will now go for your application to be successful. Okay, after getting a congratulatory message, the next thing to do is to send your documents to the embassy. So please pay attention, because I'm going to list out everything you're gonna need to send. Okay, then you need 2 self-addressed envelope. What is this 2 self-addressed envelope? So if you go to the post office, you say to them that you want 2 self-addressed envelopes or special delivery envelope. Some people will be like, what do you mean? So like more like special delivery envelope. So this is how it looks. This is how it looks. Special delivery envelope. So it's like a kind of nylon-like, you know, plastic. So you need two self-addressed envelope, just like I showed us earlier. This is how it looks like, and you need a smaller one and a bigger one. Sorry, it's a bit scruffy because I've already torn it. This was what they use in sending it back. So inside the big envelope, right, you need to add the application page slip. So application page slip is you know, after you must have done your application and it was successful, the payment was successful, you need to get this printed. So the application slip is where everything you've sent, everything you've uploaded goes through, and it's 100% complete. You have to print it. Then the payment slip is where you've made your payment, showing the amount you have paid, which is $342. That's if you're doing for 10 years. I can't remember that of 5 years. So you just make sure you print it out. So since you're going to print out, so one is the application slip and the second one is the payment slip. Then also you need the old passport, the one that is expiring or the one that has already expired. You need that slip also. Sorry, you need the passport. Then you need to get a £20 postal order. £20 postal order, and it needs to be addressed to the Nigerian Embassy, London. Okay. Just be looking at the screen because I'll be dropping the addresses and everything you need. It to be very, very easy. Then the small envelope will be addressed to, let me show you. I'm just gonna hide my address. The place they wrote to, right? You address it to yourself. Okay, and is from London. So you address for the small envelope, the self-delivery envelope, you address it to yourself and from London, because when they're sending the envelope, when they're sending your international passport or when they're sending your Nigerian passport, it's coming in the small envelope. Okay, then for the big envelope, you now address it to London from yourself. Do you understand? So you're sending the big envelope to London from yourself. And you know, just like I said, just check the screen, you will see the address, or you can as well check online to see where you're sending it to. So please note, if you are doing this, make sure the two delivery envelopes have got special delivery next day priority. It has to be next day priority. So in summary of everything I've just been talking about, not to get confused, once you're done with your application and your payment, the next thing is to post this. So when you get to the office, when you get to the post office, make sure you've already printed out your application slip, that's the page, and your payment slip, that's the page showing that you've made the payment. Then after the payment and the application slip being ready, then you ask them for two self-delivery envelopes, a big one and a small one. Inside the big self-delivery envelope, you add the payment slip, the application slip, £20 postal order, the small envelope, that's a special delivery envelope, which has been addressed to yourself and from the London, or you can just put your name and they'll still address it that is coming from them. Then you seal your old passport, please don't forget it. You put your old passport, you seal everything up, and announce send it next day delivery to the Nigerian Embassy in London. It should be a next day priority. So if you do it next day priority, if you send it today, it will get delivered to them the next day. So the total cost for this it cost me about £41.20. So that's both for the envelope, the big and the small envelope, the £20 postal order, and the next day delivery priority. So everything cost me £41.20 to send. That includes the envelope and everything. Then after I sent it, I got the tracking number from Royal Mail. Then I was able to track it the next day and seen it arrived London. Then exactly 1 week after it arrived London, I got an email from them. Just check the screen, you see, confirming that my details are correct and everything is correct. So 2 weeks from the day I sent it, I received my passport. So it was like a 2 weeks process for it to get there, get approved, and come back to my house. It just took me 2 weeks. However, I want you to note that I'm not sure this application works on iPhone, so you have to make sure you're using your Android phone to do this. Most people have used iPhone, struggled, so make sure you use Android phone. And I'm not like castigating our country, but especially during the midnight. If you do it during the day, it won't work. So I did mine in the night around 12 a.m., 1 a.m., and it went through. It was very fast, but don't try doing it in the daytime, okay? Thank you for watching. If you like the video, please do share with your friends. Cheers and have a good day. Bye.